Around 4.6 billion years ago, the Earth began forming from a vast cloud of gas known as the solar nebula. Its early atmosphere was composed of mostly carbon dioxide and was filled with volcanic activity. 3.8 billion years ago appeared the first forms of life, prokaryotic cells. Today, the Earth is the only planet known to us capable of supporting life. However, there is still debate pertaining to the origins of life, as there are many mysteries about the early Earth, life outside of Earth, and evolution that science still cannot fully answer. The chemistry behind life is extremely complex, since a variety of intricate molecules are needed to create something capable of things such as reproduction or homeostasis. All known organisms on Earth are carbon-based, as the element's valence electron arrangement makes it easy to form stable, chain-like molecules with the other building blocks of life: sulfur, phosphorus, oxygen, nitrogen, and hydrogen. These elements are what make up many more complex building blocks of life, including carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and nucleic acid. Apart from this, liquid water is also essential for life on Earth because its properties allow many chemicals to dissolve in it and make it easy for reactions to happen. All of these building blocks for life were present in the early Earth. However, many calculations are still in debate. What was the probability that life could have sprung up on Earth? How likely was it that there even was a planet capable of supporting life? The Earth is often said to be special, as it has the right astronomical and environmental factors needed for the kind of life that we have. Firstly, the Earth has the perfect size, temperature, and distance from the Sun. We are protected from radiation because of our planet's magnetic field and atmosphere. We also have a moon that creates a stabilizing effect on the Earth's rotation, and a planet like Jupiter to vacuum up asteroids that could hit us. These factors make Earth perfect for our life to exist, but it is difficult to predict what range of possible environments are capable of supporting life. There have been various equations created to predict the likelihood of life forming on a given planet, such as the Drake equation, taking into consideration the number of potential building blocks of life, their availability, and the number of them needed. Other equations are made to predict the likelihood of other intelligent life in the universe. One of the greatest debates in biology is how life began on Earth in the first place. One possible theory is abiogenesis, the idea that over 3.5 billion years ago, life arose from non-life. While this theory has never been proven nor disproven, a famous experiment was done by two scientists named Harold C. Urey and Stanley Miller. Warm water and the components of Earth's early atmosphere were mixed together and electrified, attempting to simulate the primitive oceans. After 1 week, the simulation was found to produce simple organic molecules, such as amino acids. Another possible idea of how life got to Earth is the panspermia theory, the idea that life began in space and was brought to Earth by an asteroid. However, this theory does not specify how life began in space and how it managed to survive the radiation. The first forms of life were simple prokaryotes with no nucleus, and it is fascinating to think about how over millions of years, our biosphere ended up evolving to the way it is now. Around 1.2 billion years ago, sexual reproduction first appeared in our fossil record. While this form of reproduction is beneficial in terms of creating genetic variation, it is still debatable as to how it all began, though some say it started with the exchange of genetic material between single-celled organisms. The evolution of consciousness is another example. As the nervous systems in animals evolved to be significantly more complex, they started to become self-aware and later increasingly intelligent. Evolution can sometimes be an unpredictable process, so it is difficult to predict what paths it can take in the future and what alternate paths it could have taken. Some people say that human evolution is no longer present, while others say that technology will allow humans in the future to take control of their evolution. Some scientists also believe that if humans eventually colonize Earth-like planets outside of the solar system, it will grant them enough isolation to evolve into separate species. Life outside of Earth has been a fascination to people for a very long time, and there has been a lot of debate on the subject. However, it is difficult to make conclusions when there is a lot of research supporting extraterrestrial life but no physical observations. Apart from this, we don't know what to look for because we're only familiar with the life found on Earth. All known organisms to us use RNA or DNA with the genetic instructions encoded with the 5 nitrogenous bases. In 2014, scientists were successful in artificially synthesizing 2 new nitrogenous bases, X and Y, leading to questions about how alien life would encode their genes. All life on Earth is carbon-based, however popular idea in science fiction is silicon-based life. This is because silicon has the same valence electron structure as carbon, the only problem being that silicon tends to be more unstable. In today's world, we have far more knowledge of genetics, our biosphere, and the origins of life, but we are still far from having all the answers. Thank you for listening.